Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Mike and I'm going to be a presenter for the next 40 to 45 minutes in this webinar about the introduction to robotic process automation. Before I get started, I would I would like to give you a quick tour of the function and features that you can use throughout this webinar. First of all, please take note that this session is being recorded and afterwards we will share a link automatically with you. This recording will be also uploaded to YouTube. So if at any time that you would like to review some part of the section of the webinar, please feel free to visit our website so that you can review the material from today's session. Also on the left hand side, you can see that the chat and question button. This allows you to raise any questions along the session and I will be able to review and answer your questions. And you are encouraged to ask questions so that you are able to get the maximum value out of today's session. And at the end of the session, the system will automatically prompt a feedback form. Please provide please provide us your feedback about this session and your feedback is very much appreciated. Okay? And before I get started, I just want to do a quick check if everyone can hear me clearly. If somebody could let me know within the chat box, that will be greatly appreciated. Oh, yes. Okay. Seems like everyone can hear me clearly. Good. Let's get started. So, in today's agenda, we'll be touching about why, what, how on process automation, some of the myth and misconception about RPA, the scope of RPA, the RPA applications and use cases, and also we will be touching on some about implementation strategies. But before we get started, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mike, and I'm the RPA consultant at Cybiant, and I have about 11 years experience in the solution design and delivery, process improvement, designing and implementing the automated processes in different industry. And at Cybian, I'm actually assisting head of service in the area of pre-sales, IT consulting, and conducting the certification training. Let's get started. And by defining RPA, what is RPA and why RPA? Why do we need robotic process automation? In the back office from a high competitive industry like the telecommunication industry, utilities, financial services, and healthcare, and also government agencies in worldwide are under tremendous pressure to reduce their costs and at the same time to improve their efficiency. So, in order to understand the quick rise of RPA, and there are five important elements that about high performing back offices, which is centralized physical location and budget, standardization of the processes across department and the business unit, optimize the processes to eliminate waste, technology-enabled self-service portal, and automated execution of processes. And RPA provide a way to realize the last transformation lever, which is the automated part. So how can RPA address the business problems? RPA provide the opportunity for organization to establish a high-performing back offices. Before we go into that, it is first to have, to have an in-depth, it is important for everyone to have an in-depth understanding about RPA, what RPA can and cannot do, and how can we leverage on long-term benefits of implementing RPA. And the CIO and the IT managers will need to understand like what is their role in the RPA success. Before we move any further, I will show you a short video about work.
This is the story of work. It started a long time ago, on a Monday, which was handy. For as long as history itself, the humans needed to work. They wanted to work, to grow things and create things and build things, to see what they were capable of, to stand at day's end and say, I did that, which felt pretty good. So they worked more, built more, and created more, and traveled to far-off places. And then someone suggested submitting expense reports for those far-off places. His name was Glenn, and he was a jackass. Anyway, the people kept getting better at work. They built better tools to work more efficiently. They built amazing machines to work faster. They built computers to work smarter. But still, they couldn't do enough work. Because during all that work to do more work, they had created work, and not the good kind. Not the let's sit around and come up with ideas kind. Not the I can't wait to get to work so I can jump into a new project kind. The crap kind. The drudge and data and admin and the damned expense reports. So the humans had to work more at work they didn't like. That made them robotic. That didn't inspire. They had to postpone vacations. They had to miss family dinners. They were pissed. And then something happened. Someone had a really amazing idea. They came into work and said, stop working and start working. The humans thought she might have had wine at lunch, so she showed them a way to put the fun back into work, to waste less time doing the things they hated, to make more efficient the big tasks, to stop making the humans act like robots and start teaching the robots to learn the humans. Not to replace people, but to free them. Even Glenn. Robots that learn you. Imagine the potential, like starting over, to help us remember again that work only really works when we're happy at it.
Well, I hope that this video gives you some inspiration about work and RPA. Let us move on and to understand more about RPA. In order to understand RPA, it is important to place it into the right context. That the term robotic process automation doesn't mean physical robot, but in fact, it is actually a software-based solution whereby the software licenses function as robot. In RPA language, software licenses are frequently referred to as bot. In the definition from the IEEE Standard Association, robotic process automation is a pre-configured software instance that use business rules and predefined activity choreography to complete the autonomous execution of a combination of processes, activities, transaction, and tasks in one or more unrelated software system to deliver a result or service with human exception management. Well, of course, this is a this is the official definition. And before we look into the robotic process automation in a more simple way, let me share with you some other information that the term robotic process automation has been used since at the beginning of 21st century. And RPA is a newly developed technology and there is no proper research from the early stage of use. RPA market increased popularity between 2014 and 2015 when relevant companies started to announce considerable saving due to automation. And the market of for RPA back office automation have become more significant from year 2018 onwards. And now let us look into what is RPA in a more simple way. What is RPA? RPA is basically a technology that enables a software program to mimic human action while interacting with computer application accomplish a required task. Some human interaction can be automated, like for example keyboard input, mouse movement and click, and reading from the computer screen. With automation, these tasks can be done by robot. And let us take a little moment to reflect in our daily tasks. Can you think of your digital interaction in daily tasks? Can they be automated? And can a robot do it? Yeah, I believe that this is something that worth us to take some time to reflect that uh, it is your daily task and can a robot do it for you or not? And about the myth and misconception about RPA, now we need to look into what RPA is not about so that you can remove the misconception about it. RPA is not about creating a humanoid robot. It is not about human replacement. It is not there to replace human. And it is not another cost saving method. But in fact, RPA is about automating the repetitive, time consuming tasks and processes, leading to a better efficiency and time utilization. RPA work in a way that it read and process data in a structured form, allowed to operate on different applications, enable the software program to mimic human action while interacting with computer application to accomplish the required task. And it is easy to implement and powerful to scale. And it actually allowed to work 24/7 without making errors and create a digital robotic workforce. And RPA is capable, I mean, in a way that you can see that RPA is capable of automating several tasks in a business. And some of the basic tasks, like for example, working on data sheet, entering data into different application, preparing reports, reading and responding to email, and reading and fetching information from websites, document, and etc. etc. And there are many, many more that we can mention. In RPA technology domain, that it can be subdivided into three broad categories, which is probots, which is actually a robot that follows simple, repeatable, repeatable rules to process data. And the second one is no bot, are bots that search the internet to gather and store user specified information. And the third one is chatbot, which are virtual agent who can respond to customer queries in real time. And in this one, we will focus on probots. Let us move into, to look into the growth, the benefit, and the driver of RPA. RPA can help organization to become more effective by establish the high performing back office. And RPA is ideally suited to replace human in the execution of the swivel chair processes. And what are swivel chair processes? Swivel chair processes, in most cases, it is not critical for the business operation, but rather that they are supporting the businesses. And let us look into the characteristic of the swivel chair processes. First, it is rule driven. The processes that are rules based and consistent. Voluminous, the processes that are actually come with high volume of transaction. Data intensive, the processes with a lot of manipulation of data and crunching. Repetitive in nature, the processes that involve manual and repetitive tasks. And the last one is driven by digital input, the processes that begin by receiving data through digital files. Let us look more into the swivel chair processes. Swivel chair processes are present in every organization, and it need to be done consistently in order to operate the company and comply to the rules and regulation. And frequently, this is actually a manual process whereby data is manually entered into the organization system of record. In the other way, we can look at it is swivel chair processes involving getting data from one source and enter it into another source. Let me give you an example. HR to onboarding new employees. To onboarding new employees, the HR need to collect the core information of the new employee, for example, like name, addresses, date of birth, and also to collect their photo and identity documentation, the information about the related taxes document, sign the privacy policy, and etc. etc. And the data that HR is collected will subsequently need to be entered into the organization system of record, which is the employee database, the payrolling software, Active Directory for email purposes and to log into the system, the organization system, and etc. etc. This process is repetitive, this is process oriented, high in volume, and relatively low risk. So that in this kind of similar processes that it is, we call it swivel chair processes. Many companies have conducted research on the benefit of RPA, and in one of the research from McKinsey, the the research showed that for the organization who deploy RPA have a 25% of cost saving, 62% in the reduced error, and a 200% in the return of investment. By looking at it, we can see that there are a lot of benefit by deploying RPA, and research consistently show that the RPA project have a positive return of investment. And the business driver for robotic process automation, that we need to understand that why RPA is growing quickly in adoption and popularity because of the following business driver for RPA. And this can be divided into two main categories. The first one, which is operational efficiency, which is related into the internal of the organization, whereby the reduction of cost, which automating the repetitive tasks reduce cost. The process efficiency, whereby the automation allowed to remove the bottleneck and speed up the process delivery. Process accuracy, which the automation reduce the mistake and eliminate unnecessary failures. And the regulatory compliance. Automated processes can be verified and audited to comply with rules and regulation. And this is about, of course, this is all about operational efficiency. And let us look into customer satisfaction. In customer satisfaction, it has a benefit of decrease the delivery time, whereby automation reduce the waiting time for customer. Process transparency, whereby it increase the clarity and visibility of processes. And intuitive UI, whereby automation provide more clear and intuitive user interface. And this result of the RPA are tangible for organization and can be measured into KPI. And I mean, we can look into the next section. RPA solutions are being deployed in various industry globally. Some of the industry that are using RPA are banking and finance. This industry benefit considerably from RPA as it helped them strengthen their compliance processes. RPA development help in achieving operational efficiency and provide better analytical insight that processes such as retail credit assessment, fraud prevention, and the account settlement and payment clearance are already automated in banking and finance industry. In insurance, RPA solution provide a streamlined compliance underwriting processes, and robot quickly processing of the task has speed up the claim management processes, whereby enhancing customer experience and satisfaction. The operational the operational cost is also reduced accordingly. All this enable the organization to get better customer insight and analysis from the RPA solution. The third one, healthcare. RPA solutions are used to streamline the front and back office operation. As the applications are integrated with the RPA solution, the processes can work seamlessly without any manual intervention, and this lead to enhanced patient record and confidentiality. The fourth one, manufacturing. RPA solution facilitate the reporting and administrative tasks. It provide the benefit in the area like, for example, billing of material, front office experience, the back office operation, and etc. etc. And all these help them to lower their operational costs. The fifth one, customer service. RPA provide numerous benefits like better data integration and security, and enhance the service provision visibility. It also enables the organization to handle seasonal volume spike and combine flexible integration services. All this lead to streamlined collection processes. And the last one will be travel or transportation. PA helps streamline the order management processes, enable the real-time access to customer information, and linking the external supply chain application to the internal tools. And RPA implementation optimize the order distribution cycle to ensure seamless and error-free operations. Let us look into the common use cases of the RPA. The consistency of the and accuracy of the robot are significantly higher than what a human worker can accomplish. That means that they are less prone to error, and robot can be built to report on all relevant activities around their processes immediately, making it easier to keep track of their activities. By using RPA, the organization can easily configure a robot to analyze and interpret application for processing, and RPA help in communicating with other IT system. So let's look into the popular processes whereby RPA is deployed in the business today. In payroll processing, whereby RPA can authenticate the consistency of employee data across the organization, it validate the time record, bonuses, and deduction of the for new and existing employee, and it also can automate paycheck calculation, employee benefit, and compensation. And customer client update, whereby it actually, with the rules-based and repetitive nature of this job, RPA can be used to automatically generate a pre-structured workflow once the updates are available. Robot can also be configured to send out notification email to new clients and organization. In accounting and accounting reconciliation, Robot can easily extract data from various documentation sources such as bank statement or invoice and others. And software robot can also resolve purchase order the purchase order complexities, which ensure order compatibility and deliveries. In invoice processing, RPA can be used to process invoice, be it on the paper or electronic. The robot can automate the data input. The robot never lost track and make calculation to reduce error, and the overall processes typically can be performed within a few minutes, while at the same time the same task may require hours when this required human engagement. In sales order, automated robot can perform operational sales activities such as the sales order entry, invoicing, and etc. And it can help to maintain a sales database, thus improving the customer experience. And the last one will be compliance report, whereby RPA application help in risk management and compliance reporting. It has the potential to help and support compliance component in a flexible manner, and this robot can also help in the cost and time management. So let us look into what actually a robot are. A robot is basically an automation execution agent. Put it in a simple way, a robot is a piece of software that can be programmed to execute the step done by a computer according to a workflow, whereby it can actually perform a complex calculation and also decision making based on the data and the predefined rules. The robot also can interact with different applications to move files or folder and to copy and paste data from one place to another place. It also can perform complex data processing tasks and the decision making with precision. And the software robot are designed to improve process efficiency and save time. They are non-invasive and they can basically work 24/7. Okay, let us define once we have all the robot, then we probably need to define a strategy for the implementation of RPA. In RPA, there is three ways to implement it, which is the self-owned RPA, the partner RPA implementation, and the RPA as a service. And implementing RPA in an organization is a strategic move towards achieving efficiency. Let us look into each one of it. In the self-owned RPA implementation, in this model, the RPA actually initiate entirely by the organization itself. It is adopted in an organization by purchasing the license of the identified tools or platform themselves, and the organization also create its resources bank to identify the platform for automation and its implementation. And the RPA tool provider operate as a technical support as a facilitator, and these services is optional depending upon the contractual agreement with the provider. In a simple way, which means in this model, the organization basically get everything by themselves and they organize their RPA, deploy the RPA by themselves. The second one is a partner RPA implementation. This is where the organization join hand with a consulting company to achieve the RPA goal. This model is adopted to ensure seamless RPA implementation into the organization using the consulting firm expertise and knowledge. By adopting this model, organization can ensure a smooth transition from a manual operation to RPA with the consulting company assistant. And the last one would be the RPA as a service. in this model in which the organization purchase RPA as a service. Here, in this model, the RPA implementation is the sole responsibility of the service provider, and the client organization focus on the value addition that RPA bring to the table rather than engaging in the everyday activities involving in the implementation of the RPA solution. And organizations today are striving hard to achieve the operational efficiency, and RPA can provide to be the key lever in achieving this goal. A center of excellence, in short form we call COE, is created to help in accomplishing the objective set by the RPA to set for RPA significantly. It is a way to embed RPA deeply and effectively into the organization. It is created to monitor that the goals set for the automation are achieved successfully. It is also assisting in redistributing the accumulated knowledge and resources across the future deployment, and it control the overall working mechanism for RPA delivery team. And the purpose of the Center of Excellence, which it is to provide the leadership, training, and support to encourage and capitalize the knowledge and skill in RPA. It is also to follow the best practices for the functioning of all business line. And the third one, of course, is to establish and to maintain the RPA standard. Okay. So in summary, RPA, we can say that RPA is the technology that basically is a software program that mimic the human interaction with, it mimic human action while interacting with the computer application to complete a specific task or a required task in, like for example, in your daily task. And it is important to remember that RPA is not about creating a humanoid robot. It is not there to replace human, nor it is just about a cost saving method. But in fact, we need to remember this, that RPA is all about automating the repetitive tasks, the repetitive time consuming tasks and processes, and allow you to lead to the better efficiency and the time utilization. And as you know that RPA is ideally suited to replace human in the execution of the swivel chair processes. And the last thing we need to, of course, we will need to understand is that by RPA, I mean by deploying RPA, it have a positive return of investment. If you wish to learn more about RPA, at Cybiant we actually offering the following RPA related training courses, which is the RPA Foundation and also the UiPath Certified RPA Associate. If you would like to know more information about this, please reach to us at the email sales@cybiant.com or visit our website at www.cybiant.com for more available training courses. And thank you. Do you all have any questions? Yep, I saw a question coming in. It is difficult to start with RPA. No, in fact, it is not. It is not difficult to start with RPA. That the first we need to identify like remember the question that I mean like the reflection that I asked earlier about. You will need to think that RPA in your daily task, is there any repetitive task that you are doing daily? Can it be automated by robot? By if you think that the task in I mean in your daily task that when it is actually repetitive and it follow the swivel chair and it have a swivel chair um the processes characteristic, then yes, it is basically already something that we can actually to start with RPA. And I hope this answer your questions. Is there any question? If there is no further questions, that again, I would thank you for your participation in today's webinar about the introduction of the robotic process automation. And before I end this, um, before I end the session, I mean after I end the session, there will be a survey that I would encourage you all to provide us feedback of this. Oh yeah, I saw another one. Yep. Somebody is asking the difference between service automation and RPA, and we can use RPA tools for service automation. Yes, in service automation is about the I mean to create an end-to-end processes, end-to-end automated processes. And RPA is definitely an important tools to complement or to assist in the service automation. It can be deployed into different element in the business to help to achieve the service automation. That remember that service automation is about the end-to-end processes, but RPA is about helping each and every step in the automation and in the processes and to automate it. Will you be sharing the presented slide? We will be sharing after the record. I mean the session is end. We will be sharing the link, which include the recording to all the participants. And in the we will also uploading this one the video to YouTube. For the presentation slide, I we will be sharing a simple summary of the presentation slide, and we will be sharing to all the participants. Okay. So if there's any no other question, I would like to end the session today. And once I end the session, there will be a feedback form. Feel free to provide us your feedback about this session, and your feedback is very much appreciated. Okay. Thank you for your participation and have a good day ahead. Bye bye.